Now, Standard 8, yesterday we had come to know that the lady didn't know that there was another passenger seated in the same compartment. So she says, I didn't see you either. I said, but I heard you coming. That is what the narrator said. So he says, I wondered if I would be able to prevent her from discovering that I was blind. Now the narrator is thinking, now let's hope the lady does not know that I am blind. Provided I keep to my seat, means I would be sitting in my seat, not moving here and there. I thought it shouldn't be too difficult. The girl said, I am getting off at Saharanpur. My aunt is meeting me there. So she gives him the information where she is going to get down. And then her aunt will be meeting her. Then I better not get too familiar, I replied. Aunts are usually formidable creatures. So he said, oh my God, since your aunt is going to receive you, I think I should not become too friendly with you. Because aunts are very stern and strict and they are very nasty at times. That is why he calls her a formidable creature. Where are you going? She asked. To Dera and then to Mussoorie. Oh, how lucky you are. I wish I were going to Mussoorie. I love the hills, especially in October. So here the girl expresses that how lucky the narrator is that he is going to spend his time in Mussoorie, even at that time during the month of October. Yes, this is the best time, I said, calling on my memories. The hills are covered with wild dahlias. The sun is delicious. And at night you can sit in front of a log fire and drink coffee. Most of the tourists have gone and the roads are quiet and almost deserted. Yes, October is the best time. Now he's trying to explain to her how lovely and beautiful Mussoorie is in the month of October. He says the hills are covered with wild dahlias. Then the sunshine is very pleasant. And at night, he says you can sit in front of a log fire and drink your coffee. This is what sometimes we watch on TV and movies, where they have a campfire and with guitars and they have they sing and they dance. And then he says, then the tourists are also, they go back. Now Mussoorie is very quiet and lonely or deserted. She was silent. I wondered if my words had touched her, whether she thought I was a romantic fool. Then I made a mistake. What is it like outside? I asked. Okay, first he was trying to think what the lady may be thinking about it. Then he made a mistake by asking her, what does it look from outside? She seemed to find nothing strange in the question. Had she noticed already that I could not see? But her next question removed my doubts. Now he says, oh my God, I made a mistake in asking her to tell me what she could see from outside. But when she said, why don't you go and see? Why don't you look out of the window? She asked. I moved easily along the berth and felt for the window ledge. The window was open and I faced it, making a pretense of studying the landscape. I heard the panting of the engine, the rumble of the wheels, and in my mind's eye I could see telegraph posts flashing by. So now what he did was he moved along his berth towards the window. Then with his hands he tried to feel the ledge, and then he realized that the window was open. So he began to see outside. Now remember, he cannot see, but he said he could hear the sound of the engine. Now, those days, trains were being pulled by steam engines. So, when they move, so they have that hissing sound as if somebody is panting. Okay, then the rumble of the wheels, the sound produced by the wheels when it is crossing one track over the other track, when there is a joint. Okay, and then he says, I could feel that the telegraph poles are just passing. So, have you noticed, I ventured, that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still? Now, this is called an apparent movement. Now, when we sit in the train, it is observed that we are sitting still, and when we look out of the window, we could see as if the villages are passing by, the trees are moving, okay, as if they are moving and we are standing or sitting still. So that is called an apparent movement. It is compared to when we look at the sun. Now, actually, the sun is stationary, though we say the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. Actually, it is not that the sun that is moving, it is actually we are moving. So, when we sit in the train, that movement, that action is called an apparent movement. So, I shall keep it till here. Then on Monday, I shall proceed. And Standard 8, you will be having your English literature test on Monday, 20th at 7:30 p.m. I shall be sending the notice as well. Thank you.